What if I told you that the ultimate battle at the end of the world, the entire book of Revelation, was already written down step by step over 1,000 years before it happened? Most people look at the Old Testament book of Joshua as a history of ancient battles. But when you decode the text, an astonishing reality emerges. The conquest of the Promised Land is a precise, micro-level blueprint of the end-time tribulation. Today, we are going to look at the parallels so exact, so mathematically impossible to pull off by chance, that they prove the Bible isn't just a collection of historical stories. It is a divinely inspired masterpiece written by an intelligence outside of our timeline. Let's start with the name. In Hebrew, the commander leading the army is named Joshua or Yeshua. When translated into Greek, that exact same name becomes Jesus. The book of Joshua is literally a story about Jesus dispossessing usurpers from the land God promised to his people. And how many usurping nations were originally occupying that land? Genesis tells us there were 10. This perfectly mirrors the end times prophecy in Daniel and Revelation, which predicts a final confederation of 10 nations. But it gets deeper. By the time Joshua actually crosses the Jordan River to invade, 3 of those nations have been wiped out, leaving exactly 7 nations remaining. Now look at Revelation and Daniel 7. The Antichrist rises to power, plucks up exactly 3 of the original 10 nations by their roots, leaving, you guessed it, exactly 7 nations remaining under his control. That is not a coincidence. That is a structural signature. When Joshua, Jesus, begins the military campaign, he meets a mysterious warrior with a drawn sword who identifies himself as the captain of the Lord's host. Joshua falls down and worships him, and the figure commands him to take off his sandals because the ground is holy. This is a Christophany, a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ himself directing the war. Look at the exact operational steps Jesus gives him to take down the impregnable city of Jericho. First, Joshua sends 2 spies into the city to save a Gentile woman and her family. In Revelation 11, God sends 2 witnesses into the world to save those who will believe. Second, before the march begins, the men of Israel are sealed and marked at Gilgal. In Revelation 7, before the final judgments hit, the 144,000 servants of God are sealed and marked in their foreheads. Third, the army marches around the city in total, absolute silence before the final day. In Revelation 8, right before the cataclysmic trumpet judgments are unleashed, there is total silence in heaven. Finally, on the 7th day, the priests blast the 7th trumpet, the people let out a massive shout, and the unconquerable walls come crashing down. Turn to Revelation 11 verse 15. The 7th angel sounds his trumpet. A loud shout echoes through heaven, and the kingdoms of this world collapse. The parallels don't stop at the falling walls. In Joshua 10, an evil king forms an alliance to wage war against those who aligned with Joshua. His name? Adonizedek, which literally translates to Lord of Righteousness. He is a counterfeit king, an absolute mirror image of the Antichrist. As the battle rages, God intervenes with 2 cosmic signatures. He pelts the enemy army with deadly, massive hailstones from heaven, and Joshua commands the sun and moon to stand still, dramatically extending the day. What does Revelation say happens during the tribulation? The sky rains down devastating hail judgments, and there are terrifying supernatural signs in the sun and the moon. And where do Adonizedek and his elite kings go when they realize they are losing to the true Joshua? The text says they run for their lives and hide inside a dark cave. Now open Revelation 6 verse 15. When the wrath of the Lamb is poured out, the kings of the earth, the generals, and the mighty men run for their lives and hide themselves in the caves of the mountains. Think about the sheer probability of this. A battle commander named Jesus, a 10-nation conflict reduced to 7, 2 witnesses, a divine seal, period of silence. A seventh trumpet blast that collapses a kingdom, a counterfeit king, cosmic signs in the sun and moon, hail from heaven, and world leaders hiding inside caves. This is not a collection of ancient folklore, and it is mathematically impossible to be a series of lucky guesses. The book of Joshua is a literary and prophetic lock. The book of Revelation is the key. They were written by different men in different languages separated by centuries. Yet they tell the exact same story down to the final detail. This is intelligent design. This is absolute proof that the Bible is exactly what it claims to be. The divinely inspired, living word of the living God. The blueprint is real, the author is real, and the true Joshua is coming back.